Hi everyone, my name is Val and I'm so excited today because we'll be creating a lovely website using Bootstrap. So without wasting time, let's take a look at what we'll be creating. So I purposely choose this website. You can scale it down to find that we are using Bootstrap on it. It's very responsive. Only that I'm not pleased with the design so far. So one of the things we'll be working on is we'll be redesigning most of the things we have here. I will bringing in a carousel. I'll be styling up all these things. I will bringing in images as well. This is one of the reasons why I choose these templates. So I want us to understand how we can be able to work with great system, create all these things, style it very well. At the end of the day, use cards. So we have a lot of components we'll be working with. We'll bring in the nav bar. We'll find that if we hover, a lot of things is happening. So at this point, let's dive in and start coding. So I will simply minimize. All I need to do is I need to do what? Right click, create a new project for it. I can call it any name of my choice. This time around, I'm calling this folder Val. So I can simply open this folder. I need to create the basic folder structure. I'm not supposed to be wasting time doing this, but CSS at the same folder, another file we'll be making use of. We need to bring in our Bootstrap, but before then, I would love to create a folder for our images. But since I've not to waste time, I've created some basic images we'll make use of. So I can simply do what? Bring it in. So I'd like us to check out this folder. I found that these images here I'll be using for our slides, while this one we have inside is simple for the card we'll be creating. So at the end of the day, we'll be see all these things working perfectly. So at this point, the next thing I need to do is to bring in my Bootstrap. So all we need to do is we have to consider how we wish to use Bootstrap. If you are confused with that, check out my video how I did basic setup using Bootstrap. So but for now and for this project, we'll be working with CDN, not to waste any time. So because of that, I can close up this thing, right click this, open it as a VS Code project. So it's opening, and now it's open. All I need to do is to create an index.html page. Like we already know, I can simply double click here and save. So I can now save it as what? I make sure that the file part is what I want. So I can click index.html. I can now save. So I can start from creating a basic HTML structure. All I need to do, I can type HTML, find that it will pop up suggestion for me. I will choose HTML5. So all we need to do, we can check it out to make sure that everything is working. I can simply type hello world, like we always do. I save and minimize, go back to my browser, making sure that this folder is available, this file is available. I can see it. All I need to do is I will double click. So I'm seeing my simple hello world. So at this point, we'll be looking at a resource, W3 School. I would like us to follow certain things that are doing there to show you that we can achieve building this website from it. So once we type W3 School, we find that it will pop up the link for us. We can click on it. We choose the file tutorial we want. We are working with Bootstrap and we're working with Bootstrap 4. I can simply go to this navbar, go to getting started, scroll down. I will see my CDN. All I need to do, I need to pick up everything I have here. Make sure that you select everything. I can go back to my work. Within the head section, I can just paste it. So I can give this thing the name I want. So I'm saving it. We can go back, or I can add something to check whether Bootstrap is working. So I can add a class. So once I add my class, I can try something like BG, give it any contemporary color of my choice, like info. I can save, minimize this, go back to our web page. I will refresh. So I find that we have hotel here and the background is working. That means Bootstrap is in. So next thing we need to do is, because I will love you to go through this resource you are seeing here on W3 School. It will help you a lot whenever you are building a website. Especially when you are starting new, till your hand is very strong. So now I will be looking at navbar. So in our nav bar, all we need to do, we find that we have different designs of nav bar depending on where we are working on. So they function in different ways, like we can check it out by minimizing the screen. If I click on try it out, I can see the design. If I change the orientation, you find that it's just popping down like this, and this is not what we want. We're looking at the end of the day, we can get a menu bar so that when we click, it should toggle down and up. So you can practice it, check out whatever we have here. We have a lot of them available here. We find that this is also a very simple nav bar. We can as well change the color of our nav bar by adding BG info, BG warning, BG danger, most of the things we have done before. And very soon we make use of some of these things. So I will continue going down, looking for the one that has a toggle bar. Now I can see it. So we are going to be making use of this one. But before then, I would like us to go down more to check out a few things. You can as well scroll down to see the one that is fixed. So you can also achieve adding a nav bar that is also what fixed. All we need to add is this class to it, fixed top, and we achieve it in our nav bar. If you want to fix it bottom of our page, you need to change to what fixed bottom, and the class, it will start working automatically. Assuming you are starting this on your own, you have a lot of work to do. So I'm going back to the one I wish to use, which is the one that has toggle icon, and I have seen it. All I need to do is I can check out the code, copy this code. As you are seeing, I scroll down, make sure you copy everything. We go back to where our text editor. Within the body section, I can clean this content I have here, I will paste it. So mind you, if we save this now, we check out our code, and minimize, go back to our hotel code and refresh. Wow, we have a nav bar. But if we should scroll, we find that this is scrollable. In order to check whether it will scroll or not, all we need to do is at the end of this nav bar, we have to create a container. I've explained all these basic concepts in the introductory aspect of Bootstrap. You can check out this video, not to waste time. So we need to create a div with a class name of container or container field, depending on the one you wish to use. So I'm using container. But I think let's make use of container field for this project. So now I've opened the div. All I need to do next is close this div. Since I want to check out, let me add the height so I can check whether the nav bar is scrollable or fixed. So I can as well do what? Add an inline style. So as add the inline style, all I want is height, and I can give it a height of maybe 700 pixels. I save. So if I should go back and refresh this project, you find that we can scroll. And now this nav bar is not fixed. This is not what we want. So in order to fix it like you saw before, you need to go to the nav bar we have. Look for where we have the nav. So in our nav bar, I will need to add fixed top, because we want to fix it to the top. If I should save it and check, I go back, I refresh. If I should scroll this, you find that it's now fixed top. The only thing that is moving is this container we created, the div container, but the nav bar is now fixed. So that's one good thing about it. You can as well go back to adjust our nav bar. You can see here, if you look, you find that we have background dark and nav bar dark. You can as well change this BG we're having here to any of the contemporary colors we mentioned, like info, or I can as well change it to another thing. We have danger. If I save it, I go back and check. If I should refresh, find that the color has changed. So lucky, and I think it's going well so far. So another thing I would like us to achieve, because if we check out here, I find that they have their own menu by the right hand side. So in order to adjust this, all we need to do, we can click here, go to nav, not nav bar again, but this time we'll check out nav. We'll click on nav, find that it will show us a lot of things we can adjust in our nav. And now we are seeing what? Aligned nav. So that means we can align our nav to center. So at the same time, we can align our nav content to what? End. So I'll copy this class, go back to my VS Code. I should scroll down. Where I need to paste it is where I have the menu. So I have my list here. which is my ULLI. So within it, the parent element that is wrapping them is where I need to add it. So I give a space within this class and I will add it. I save. If I should save, I go back to our site and we'll refresh to find that we'll have this menu by this side now. So, but in theirs, I can see that there is a little space at the end, extreme end. So can achieve this by applying P5. So can add padding right 5. If I should go back at the same place I am within the class section, I give a space, I do PR, which is for padding right. I want it to be 5. I should save. If we should go back and check, find that there is a space now within this section. I can change the content they have, home, about, or service contacts. So if I wish, I can as well do what? Adjust it. But I can leave it that way for now. Next thing we need to achieve is this div we have here. So looking at this div, there are two ways of achieving it. Because we found that I think they are making use of container, and this place there is space in this end of it. So if it's container, we can try it out. At the same time, we can as well use container fluid and offset it. So mind you, if we're using container, that means our div is starting from this edge to this edge. So how do we achieve having this background touching the extreme? So it's a question that we need to ask ourselves. So first of all, let's try to use offset in order to adjust this thing. So in doing it, all we need to do is we go back to our div. Now there's something we must know whenever we are fixing our content, and that is if we write anything, whenever we fix content, the next element we have or the next div we have will definitely hide below this navbar. So because of what? It doesn't take up any space whenever we are fixing content. So in order to adjust it, we need to pad it off. For example, let me write a text inside this div I created, the one that has 700 pixels. So I can say something like I am here. So if I say I am here and I save, if I go back and check, you notice that it's not visible, though it's there, but it's hidden below this navbar. So in order to make it visible, we will always pad it out by simply adding something like p top -5. That means padding top 5. So if I go back now and refresh, you find out that we can see whatever we have written is now visible. So assuming that we still want to pad it off more, knowing that P5 is the highest, that means we need to take off this P5. We can now start padding as we wish. I can remove this P5 if I wish to pad it more. I can now do something like padding, my normal CSS. So I can now apply it, and I want to pad it top. So I can say padding top, maybe I give it something like 75 or 70 pixels. I close and I save. So when I check it out, refresh my work and check what is happening, you can see that it's out totally. But now I think we are working with container. That's why we are seeing this space we are having here. I would like us to see the content we are working on. So I can come to this container within the class section. I can give it a background, BG. I would like to use primary, which is the same color that I'm using. So that's what I'm applying here. If I go back and check, if I refresh, you find that it's taking the full height. Why? We need to adjust because we are in a container, and if we want, we can adjust it to take the maximum height of the content we have inside of it. So no distance timer will adjust that. So very soon I'll work on that. I'll just copy this right up like this. Go back to my work. I believe they are using H1. So if I go back to my text editor, I can take off this and as well bring in my H1. I type in H1, have the H1 tag, I can paste this content. This next one, I believe it should be E tag. So I can as well go back and copy it. So once I get back, I should simply copy it and paste. So I can paste it to my content. If we save this thing, we see adjustment a little. If I refresh now, find that we have a content. But I'm not satisfied with what we are having so far. because if you look now, there is padding, there is margin here, there is margin here, but in their own is taking the full width. So we'll try to do what? Correct some of these things. One of the ways of fixing this is knowing fully well that we are working with container. So container will always give this margin. So all we need to do is we can wrap it with another tag, any element of our choice. I can use semantic tag like headers as I'm working in the header section. So I'm working in the header section, I can wrap it with it. Then I can now give my background to that element to find that everything will be okay. So let's try and adjust it now. I can scroll back, look for where I have this div. All I need to do, I need to come on top of it and create this header tag. Hit enter, I have it. So this div is opening and closing here, so I can take the closing aspect of it and make sure that it's closing well. So you find that I'm wrapping everything in this header tag. Next thing I must do is I need to move this background. I'm seeing here, I can cut it off. Create a class. That's where I can add this background and put it. So remember that we have padding within this thing, and I want to have padding vertical. So I can add py, which is for padding vertical, and I want the maximum. I should save. We go back, that's the padding I'm trying to achieve. So if we refresh our own and click, you find that it's now taking the full width, and there is a bit padding added to it. So for now, I don't want this blue color to take over the whole screen. So in order to achieve that, I need to adjust it to end wherever we have our content and go back. I can easily go to the container, which is holding the elements, and we'll go there, give it h-100, which is give it a responsive height. That's one good thing about h. You can see it now that it's not taking the full width. So if we go back, we notice the change in font is big and slim, and this thing is not a h1 tag. There's another class we can use to achieve this, and that class will be checking it out soon. So if you click on the menu, go to our typography, find that we'll have h1 as same, but if we scroll down, we see display. So this display will zoom out things more without bolding it as we have in h tags. So you can achieve that by simply picking from display 1 to display 4. The highest is display 1, but I wish to go with display 4 because I don't want the size to be too big. So now I can pick the display 4 class from it, I can copy it, go back to my work. I need to go to my h1, create a class for it, as simple as that, and add my display 4. I save. So if we should check it out, we find out that there is an increase. So with this, we can as well do what other adjustments to get this, but that's not my major focus, because at the end of the day, we want to change this to a carousel, a slide. We want to have an image that is sliding here, but at the same time, I want to show you how you can offset these elements. Alternative way of achieving this too. So that's why I'm not getting the color. If I want, I can still change the text color too, and I can adjust it as I'm offsetting whatever I want. So I can go back within this place. This is the div that is wrapping the text I have here. I can come here and specify that I want a class text, and I want the color of the text to be white. So we have some colors you can apply, not any color. You can apply white, secondary, info, primary, danger, warning, app default, dark, light. So please try those ones out. You can check it out. If I should refresh now, you find that I have a lovely white text content. So if I want, I can as well adjust this, but because of time, you can as well adjust it. I would like you to try it out on your own in order to adjust whatever we have here. So now, alternative way, if I should take off this header tag I'm having here, so returning back the classes I have here back to the div, so I can take back these classes to the container. So if I should give a space, remove this head because I don't want this head tag again. So if I should save and check what I have so far, I find that since I have container, it's not taking the full width. But if I should return it back and add container to it, container fluid, if I should add container fluid to it, and I should save and check it out again, you'll now find that it's taking the full width. But unfortunately, it's hitting the wall. The text content is hitting the wall, and they want to have space as we are having here using this method. So all we need to do is simply go back. We need to create a row inside our container because we want to make use of code. And before you can make use of code, we need to have what? A row. So I look for where I have this div. So I need to wrap whatever content I have here. I can cut it for the meantime. So I'm just having this container for now. So like I said, all I need to do is I need to create a div row because I want to add a code. Inside of it, I will create another div with code 12-12. So this row will be taking code 12 will be taking the full width, but this time around there will be a little padding unlike what we have. So I can paste my content inside of it. I can change this to maybe code 10 this time around. So we'll notice a change. That means we're going to see more space this side because we're not taking the full 12 now. We wish to take only 10. If I refresh, you don't see that our content is now starting from here. We have to reserve for us. That means we can as well share these two. So we can position code 1 this side by the left and another code and the remaining code 1 this side. Since we have two left, this will help us achieve a centered element. We want to center this content so that we'll be merging like this and that. So in order to offset this side, it's very handy, provided by Bootstrap. That's one good thing. All we need to do is we can simply type offset. Then depending on the media we wish to offset, it's very important. Like now I'm targeting medium screen. I can say I want to offset 1. Why am I offsetting 1? I have 10 remaining 2. So if I should offset 1 by the left, that means I'll be left with 1 by the right. It will center my content. So if I show refresh, you'll now find that there is space here and there is a whole space here. Content are being centered. Assuming I still want to reduce this div and center it as well, all I need to do, maybe I wish to have code 6 here. That means I'm left with, if I should save it and check, you find that I'm left with 6 by this side. Mind you, I added 1. Okay, I'm left with 5 now because I have 1 already by this side. Even if I should take away the 1 I have here for now, I should take away the 1 and save, you will now find that I'm left with complete 6 this side. So if we wish to center it, we need to do what? Divide the 6 we have here on both sides. So that means we'll have offset 3 this side, so we'll be left with 3. So I can achieve that by going back. I add the same thing class we have. Half of sets with the media we are targeting, which is mid, and we want to offset 3. So if I should save and go back and refresh, we find that this content we have 3 by this side, we have 3 by this side. So that means we can at the end of the day use offset to center our content depending on how you want to use it. So I've explained 2 ways you can achieve such, but for now we are just targeting what? Code 10. That's what we're interested in. I just wish to offset 1 because the margin is not much. So now I'm only targeting for medium screen and I'm using medium screen. That's why you're seeing it this way. And when we are talking of medium screen, we're looking at small laptops, tablets, when you position them landscape. So, but if you're looking at big screen, big laptop at the end of the day, so one means we need to specify their own too. Because if we fail to specify this offset for any device, it will definitely take the full width. So I'm also telling you that in large device, which is large, I want to give it 10 at the same time. So I'm saying that whenever I'm in large device, I want it to take what? 10. Then at the same time, I have to offset in that large. And what I'm offsetting is 1 so that you can share it equally. So now if I should save and go back, no change, you will notice that it will go back to the normal thing we have. You can as well apply some padding to pad it off. Like I've told you already, you can go to our H1. Since I want to apply a padding top, can add B top, and I want to have 5 on it. I should save. If I refresh, you find that you add some padding added to this content. So, but for now, this is not my main target. I just wanted you to learn a few things concerning offsetting, how you can work with containers and the rest of them. We'll be diving deep into inserting our carousel and styling our web page, nesting a lot of things. This is the main focus for this course. So I can simply go back and take off whatever I have in this section. So I can bring in my carousel. So what I'm taking off is what I have in my container fluid. So I need to, after my nav bar, I have my div. So I need to take off what I have in my div for now. Since I'm bringing in carousel, I need to create a simple semantic tag like header we have before to help us solve this issue of not taking the full width. Because at the end of the day, I want my carousel to take the full width. So in order to bring in our carousel, all we need to do is we go back, click on the menu, we can scroll in our W3 school, we'll see where we have carousel and click on it. So if I should scroll, we can see a lovely carousel that can slide, it's sliding. We can look at the text, the code that is involved in it. So we'll find that we'll have carousel slide. That is what is wrapping everything we'll have. Next thing we'll notice is we'll have a list. And we'll have our ULLI. The major work for this, which is carousel indicators, are what this bar we are having here. So that means when we load this page newly, because we have a class of active, the first one will be active. That's why we are having this class. So at the same time, if we scroll down, we find that we have carousel inner. What will be in the inner content? That's where we position our images. Mind you that the number of bar you have should correspond with the number of images we have here. Assuming we wish to copy this and paste again, make sure that you still have it within this carousel inner, even if you are duplicating images. To have now is 3 to make it 4. So we need to make sure that everything is wrapped within this div that contains carousel inner. So if I'm making it 4, that means we need to duplicate this, make this thing 4 too, so that the number of slides we have should correspond with the number of bar we have below. And make sure we have only one active in them, only one active also within the image section, like you can see also within the carousel indicator. Then if we should go down, we notice that we have an anchor tag, and there are 2 of them. This is for our previous and next. If you should go up, you notice that we have a previous here and we have next angle. So if I should scroll down more, you find that we have other carousel like this one. We have a carousel with text on it. So that means we can add text to our carousel. And it's very simple. All we are doing is the place we have our carousel inner. Just like we have images, we have this carousel, we need to create additional div called carousel caption in each image we have. We might see practice this later. That's what we are achieving. Same place we have our carousel inner, like you can see here. Instead of having only images, we can bring in our text within this section. So, but for now, let's go with this simple one. What I need to do is copy this text. I can copy it. I will go back to my text editor. Now I will just want to change it to a header tag. So I can easily have my header tag, hit on it. Why am I using header? I just want it to occupy the full width. So that's why I'm using a simple header tag without any style. So you can assume the full width of my device. When I'm talking of the full width, I mean this full width as we can see here. So if I should go back and paste this content and save, if I refresh, find that we are not going to see anything. Why? Because we have removed the padding tab we have initially in our header tag. All we need to do is scroll up, add the class. You can simply add the class, and in this class we just add p-top, because we want to add only padding top 5, which is the maximum for now. I can as well apply my own style. But if I refresh now, we see a little sign of the carousel, but the images are missing. So if we scroll down, find that the images are missing. In order to bring in, we just have lab.php, which does not exist. It's just coming from W3 school. So we need to bring in our own images. If if you look at this folder structure, we are definitely going to see the images I have already. I brought it in the use of this course. So all we need to do is we need to link up these images. So I can do it by clicking on images. So thankful to VS Code, it will always give me guide to that. I can as well change the second one, add my images. If I click on it, I select the second image. I go again to the third one, click on images, and as well click on it to select the third. Make sure that you are not having a PNG file and you are linking a JPG file. It will not work. So we should now save our work, go back and refresh. Find out to have a lovely carousel image. If I click on it, it will slide, and I love it so much. So far, so good. Another thing I don't like now is this teal background, so I will take it off. It's within the body section, so if I should scroll up to the body, I will see the class I added, which is giving that background. So I can now save. If I should go back and check, find that I just have a plain white. So another thing I would like to adjust is this nav bar. I would like to change the background color. I want it to be white. I will also change the color of the text. So if we go back to adjust this back to white, all we need to do is go to the nav bar of what? So in the nav bar tag, I need to go to where I have my background danger. I can change it to background light. That's what I need. This place I have dark, I can take it off entirely because I don't need it. So if I should save now, if I should go back and save and refresh, find that it's now white. At the same time, I can change these colors depending on knowing very well that we have handy classes we can use to achieve that. I can as well change the color of this nav by adding a simple class to it. Text, I can choose any color of my choice. I want to add danger to it. I want it to take a red color. I can scroll down as well, but I wish to have a hover effect on these links. So I can come here, create a style tag. In my style tag, I can add a style. So I need to make sure that I'm targeting this element very well. First of all, I will need to target my UL. Then I will get to my LI, which is the children. From there, I can reach out to my A tag. So to achieve that, all I need to do is within this style tag, I can mention that I have an element called UL and then my UL. So to avoid overriding any other style we have, if we want to make use of UL again in this project. So when I'm talking of this UL, I need to pick the class name to specify that I'm targeting this UL that has this class. Before I can look at the children, which is the LI, and I can now focus finally on the A tag. So I can pick the class name of this UL and now go up and style. So now I'm having my UL. All I need to do, put a full stop and add the name of the class. I give a space, less than sign. I can add my LI, mean that I'm targeting the children. I can as well give a space, use my less than. I want to target the child of this LI. Now add A, which is it. I can now change the color by adding my own color to it. So I can choose maybe red, any color of my choice. So if I click on it, if I want, I can pop up more design, but this, I think this is okay for now. So if I should save, I'm not sure I'm going to see any hover effect on it. So if I refresh so far, I have a reddish color here. I also have red here, but if I hover, no effect on it. So in order to add effects on it, all I need to do is to duplicate this. I can simply duplicate, and on this A tag, I want to add a hover to it. So I can use a colon and type hover on it. I can as well change the color at this point. So depending on the color I wish to have, so I can pick any color of my choice, or I can as well take a new color. If I don't like this color, I can as well delete this and pick up a new color from the color scheme. I can scroll down and type in. If I have any unique color, I can pick this. So if I should save now, we find that we are definitely going to have a hover effect on it. If I refresh, if I come on top of it, we find that there is a hover effect. So it's as simple as that. Now I would like to bold this content using my simple bootstrap class known as font weight bold. So I can apply it to it. All I need to do, go to wherever I want to use it. Like I have my navbar here. I can change this sort of navbar. I can call it hotel or anything I want to have. And give space here and add my font weight bold. I can copy it to easily add it to the list tags. If I go down here, I can target my A tag and apply it to them, to different A tags that I have, to make it bold. That's how simple it is. If we refresh, we find that it's now bold. This one is also bold. So it's our choice. So if we scroll now, we don't have much content, so if it's not scrollable, you can as well increase the height so that we can test out something about it. All I need to do is I should go below the header tag and create a new div with a class of container, because that's the next thing I want us to use. I hit enter. Inside of it, I want to add a style, so I can as well add my height to it. And the height I want again can be 700 pixels. I should save. I'll be able to save. I go and refresh. I have my navbar, so you can now scroll my contents with my navbar fist. So as I'm scrolling, maybe I wish to add a line below this navbar. So it's also achievable. All I need to do is to style it. We can go back to the navbar, wherever we have the navbar button. Within this navbar tag, I can apply my style, which I can do, or I can as well use a class name of my choice. So I should avoid using any class name already set by Bootstrap to avoid overriding it. So I must be careful whenever I'm using some classes when working with Bootstrap. So I can say something like navbar or navval, which I know that Bootstrap is not using anything that have to do with val. Then I can copy this class, hit enter, full stop, add the class. I need to make sure that it's full stop, and now add the new class that I have. All I need to do is add a border to it, and the border should be a bottom border to it. I can now choose any color of my choice. I wish to choose this color too. Whenever we're adding border, it takes 3 values. Next thing, we need to add 1 pixel. I give a space and I want it to be solid. And now save. So when I go back and refresh, you will notice that we have a border available here. To scroll, we can as well see the border. So it's our choice depending whether you wish to add it or not. That's how simple it is. So the next thing we'll be looking at is how we can simply create these contents we're having here. When we are working with this, we make use of code 12, but this time around we find that we are having something like code 8 and code 4. So we need to take that into consideration. I need to go back to my text editor. So the procedure for creating this kind of column is that we have to work within our container, and I'm not making use of container field because if we check out what they have already, we find that there is space also in there, so there is no need making it to hit the wall to take the full width. So there is no need giving it the full width. I can now go back. So within this my container, I need to create a code. So, but mind you that before we can create any code, we need to have row first, because there must be a row in which you can now have our code division. So because of that, we can create a row first. Then inside the row, we can now have our div for our code. And this time around, I want to have 2 code for now. So I'm having code 8. I can hit. Under it, I wish to have another one, so I can just duplicate it, and this second one should be code 4. End of the day, I'm not exceeding 12. That means it must be in one line. So if I should add any content to it, like test 1, and I come below it and add another content like test 2, and I save. If I go back and check it out, you find that it's showing very well. We're having this content and it's visible. So if you notice, you will find that this is almost touching our carousel. So we need to give some space from it. We can achieve it by either going to the header and adding margin bottom, or we can come to this content and add margin top. So I think the simpler one, which is one content, can just add the margin bottom here to help me push this to co-mid 8 and co-mid 4 down. So to achieve that, I can just go back to my header. Within this section, I can simply do my margin bottom, which is MB5. So any size of your choice. If I go back and refresh, you find that there is a space now being given to us. So we can check out what we need to achieve here is we have what we do. I can simply copy it, go down to my col 8 because that's where I want to work on. I can take up this text I have here, create H1 tag. So I think it's H1. Inside of this H1, I can place it. If you notice in that what we do, we saw initially we have the HR, which is horizontal line also. So I can create it if we want to apply a safe close, if we want to leave it that way. So I love using safe close for it. Next thing I think we should also have here is a P tag. So if I should go back and check, we notice that we have this horizontal line which ended here. We have our content, and looking at our content, I found that we have the first paragraph, we have the second paragraph. So since I can do what, copy both of them and create these paragraphs seen, I can easily go back to my text editor within the P tag I created. I can paste it, scroll back so I can see it, find that I have this P tag. I can add another P tag here because if you shake, I can split it by adding a new P tag here. That means I need to take off this and pull it down so that this will open and close here, and this one is opening. I should say it to see it very well. This one is opening and is closing here. This one is opening and is also closing here. If we go back to our browser and check what is happening, if I refresh, you notice that we have this content and it's coming up little gradually. Another thing I would like to adjust, I may wish to change this color too. In order to change it, I simply use the bootstrap tests, which is a class provided to us by Bootstrap. I can easily add a class here, and in this class I can simply apply my tests, and I want the test to be danger and what I wish to use. If I should go back and check what is happening, I refresh my code, you find that it's looking nice. So the page is coming little by little. If we want, we can justify this content, but I'm not working on that for now. If we check again, we notice that we have a button, and we also have an icon in it. And I don't think that this is a normal button. I think it's a button large. So next thing we'll be creating. If I go after my P tag, so after my P tag within the co 8, I need to make sure I'm inside my co 8. I'll add my button. If I add my button, I can't remember what the text content. I think call to action. So I can simply type my call to action. Mind you that we have an icon on it, but for now, if I should save it like this and check what is happening, there will be no style like this. You find that we have a simple button like this because there is no bootstrap. In order to bring in bootstrap, we need to add a class to it. So the first class name we'll have is btn. You can add more class like giving it a color by adding btn. Depending on the name of the color we want to give to it. I wish to use danger instead of primary. The primary will give us blue, but danger will give us red. If we should check it out, find that we'll have a lovely button, but I want to increase the size as we can see here. So in order to achieve that, all I need to do is give another space. I have my btn LG. LG stands for large. If we want it to be small, we need to do btn SM, which is small. So we can try it out. For now, I have a lovely button and I think it's working out fine. Next thing we need to achieve is this section. So I need to create my contact us. Below it, I should have my HR, which is horizontal line. So I can go to my test 2 where I have my code 4. So in my code 4, all I need to do is break it down. I'll have my H1 tag. In my H1 tag, I have my contact us. Below it, I have my HR, which is horizontal line. Hit. I want to leave it this way. I can go back again. Color content. I can create this. Make it a strong tag with this content on it. I can use a simple BR to break this content as we are seeing here. Let's make this one a strong tag. So if I copy it, go down, after this my HR, I can click enter, paste. I want to wrap this with a strong tag, so I can just a space, so I can type it this way. Hit enter. I have my strong tag. I can copy the text I have here, put it inside of it. To avoid these ones appearing in the same line, all I need to do is I can add my simple BR tag. I can decide to add the BR tag this side. It's your choice. So that means it definitely break it to the next line. Add another BR tag to it. So that means it will be breaking them to the next line. So, but if you check out, you find that this is somehow like an address. So we can make use of our semantic tag to wrap it up. So in order to achieve that within this section, I can wrap it up with an address tag. So I can have a tag called address. So I can apply this address tag, hit enter. I can now copy everything I have here, bring it inside of it. Secondly, I think we still have more design to this. You can pick this content. I'll change this thing to phone. I'll change this one to email. That will make it look better. So I can as well hit enter, add another address inside of it. I can paste my text content. I wish to use strong tag here. So all I need, I can type my strong, hit enter. I can bring in this my phone number. I will need to write it in full, so I can make sure that the spelling is correct. Give a space to make it look nice. I can as well double copy this to take away this and change it to email. So now I have an email and I save. Everything is looking good to me. I can check it out in my browser as well. If I go here and refresh, you find that I'm having a lovely content. So one thing I would love to change, like I applied here, is the color of this text. In order to achieve it as well, all I need to do is add a class, and the name of the class can be tests danger. I can add my test danger to it. I save. So it's my choice. If I go back and check what I have, I think it's looking nice. So far so good, everything is moving. So the next thing we'll be working on is our card. So depending on how we wish to achieve this card, it's very simple. All we need to do is we can simply go back to our bootstrap, click on this link. If we scroll, we find that we get to a point we have a card. So if I click on it, it will load. So bootstrap 4 provides us with series of cards depending on the one we want. Mind you that we want to add image to our card. But for me, I think we'll pick the simple one and work with it. So I wish to pick this one that have a header, body, which is where we place our content, and also a footer. Because if I check out from the one that we are given, we are seeing that we have a header, we have the content part, which is the body, and we have the footer. So I can simply come back, scroll, and pick this simple code. It's very simple. We find that if you look at it, all we're having is a card class. So inside of it, we are having the header section of it, which is card header. We have the card body and card footer. It's easy to create. All we have here is all about divs. So for the fact we have copied it, I can go back to my work. Mind you that we need to create a new row. Looking at what we have here, we are done with this row. So since we want to have another division, so we need to do what? Create another row. So we can break this thing. since it's 3 of them, if you should divide it into 12, you find out we'll be getting code 4, code 4, code 4. So that's one thing we'll be targeting. Now go back, check where this my row is ending. That's my interest. I found that this is my row and I'm clicking on it. So that means the row is ending here. You need to create a new row. So I can type my div, and all I want is a row. Enter. Inside of it, I can now break it, which means I need the div with code 4, and I want it to appear 3 times. So I can easily tell it to appear 3. I have it like this. I can put any content of my choice. So since I've copied the card, I can add it to one of them. After styling it, I can now take it to the next, to other words. For now, we have our code 4, and I have my simple card. We can start styling it by going back. You can find that in our design, we have a card title, so I can copy the card title, have a text content on it. If I wish, I can copy everything. I believe this is H1 or H2, and this is simple P tag. So I can go in within this card body. That's where I want to place the contents within this card body. So I can break it down and drop the contents as I wish. Scroll down to my own view. This is the card title, so I can break this one down, convert this to H1, anyone I want. I can change it to H1 and see how it will look. I can bring in my card and drop it inside of it. Outside of it, I still have my P tag, which I wish to wrap it with. I can pick the ending, cut it off, scroll this bar so I can add it to the end of it. I can paste. I save. If I should go back and check it out, if I refresh my code, you find that I have a lovely card. No footer, no header on it yet. But for now, it's touching the wall like before. So all we need to do, we can simply go back, maybe add a padding top on it. So we can check out any part we want to add the padding top. I can add it in our row, which is holding everything. I can add my PT, which is padding top, and I want it to 5. I save. If I go back and check and refresh, you find that there's a space now on it. That's so lovely. Check here. I think we're having lovely space. Next thing we have is what? We need to add a button to the footer of the card, and we have a text in the button called find out more. So I can go back and look for where to add the button. That means after my P tag, okay, I need to go to the footer and add the button. So in my footer, I need to create a new button. In the button, like we did before, we have a class. Get with a BT class first, button class, then BT, and I want it to be red, so I'll be using danger. Give another space. Okay, there's no need making it big. Then I think the text on it should be find out more. So I can as well add the text as it is. Then with the exclamation mark on it, I can now save. If I go back and check what I have done so far, I refresh, I have a lovely button. So what is missing now is my image. I have a card. I think the card title is so big, so I need to change it, from H1 to H3. Let me adjust it to H3 or H4. Let me see how it will look. Let me do something like H4. So I have H4 open and close. I can now refresh. Find that the size is not too bad. I can leave it like this. Next thing I need to do is to add an image to my card. So I can go back in my card header. I need to bring in an image. I can simply do what? Hit enter. I have an image tag. So what I did so far, I have already brought in an image. I stored it in others. So I've opened others. You will see the image I worked on already. So now trying to link it, I have alternative in case it's unable to load this image, and add something like no image found. So if you have choice, you can add any content of your choice. So within this section, I can as well select image, go to others. I can pick the first image that I want. I can now save and check it out and know what is happening. So if I click and refresh, this is not what I wish to refresh. If I click and go back and refresh this content, I find that I have a lovely image available for me. So this is one good thing about Bootstrap. For now, I still need to pad this thing below. So all we need to do, so far so good. If we don't like this padding we are having here, assuming we want to take it off, we can as well do it. All we need to do is we come to the car header, we can take away the card header and make sure we are taking off the closing tag also. We can as well save and check how the image will look. I'll find that the image is taking the full width, so I think I prefer this. So next thing I need to do is to duplicate this to adjust to other code 4 that I have and change the image. So that's how simple it can be, depending on what you are working on. You can click on my code 4, look at where it's starting and where it's ending, and as well copy it. I will simply change this content because that's something just that is empty. I paste it, this is another code 4, making it 8, and change this to image 2. I will go down, this is the last code 4 I have that will make it 12, and change it to image 3. I can as well do what save. So when I refresh, you find that I have a lovely design. Wow, I think I'm loving this. It's now looking better. So the next thing we will have to achieve is our footer, and this is so simple. All we need to do is we need to come out of our container, because if we should create the footer within our class container, where is our class container? I'm looking for it. Okay, so this is the class container. If we should create it inside of it, that means the footer will not be taking the full width as we are seeing here. It will end up adjusting itself like this. So I need to make sure that I'm outside the container. So if I click here, I should look for where it's ending, and I can see where it's ending. So after it, I can now create my footer tag, hit enter. I have any text content of my choice. I check whatever they have, copyright 2019, and copy it, go back, paste, change it to 2020, because that's what it is now. I can now add a class because I wish to center this and add some padding to this also. So in order to solve that, you can make use of Bootstrap class, add it. First thing I will be adding is a background to it. I want a BG danger because I want a red background. I can add my danger to it. After that, I need to center the text. I can have my text center, which is provided by Bootstrap. I can give another space. I want to add padding to it. All round, I will be adding padding of 5. I will now save and check it out on my browser. You know how it will look like. If I click refresh, you find that I have something like this. So all I need to do now, I need to add a margin on top to push it out from the card content that I have already. But the major cause of this, if you can remember, is that I gave a height, and this do happen a lot to web designers, especially when I started new. I will give a static, a fixed height to my div, and at the end of the day I will forget. So if we check it out, we find that there is somewhere we gave a fixed height. I think it should be 700 pixels within the container. So as I'm going through my container, I will find that I have a height that I gave initially, just to be able to scroll my page. So if I take it off and go up and refresh this page, you find that it will even push it down. We need to bold this text and give it maybe a white color, but at the same time I want to add a margin top to this my footer. So I can go back to my footer. First thing I will add is font weight bold, to make it bold. So as after that, I can as well add my margin top, which should be 5, to push it off from the content above. If I refresh, I find that it's off from this. This is also bold. I can as well change this to white, but I think this is okay with me. So this is a lovely text, a lovely page we achieved out of this. So when you compare what we have initially and what we are having now. Found that I think we did a nice work. So before we wrap up, there are a few things I would like to look at, and some of them is going back to our W3 school. In our W3 school, we can go to this nav bar to look at some of the things we have not touched so far, like table. We are unable to work with table at this point, but table is also very easy to add, and table comes with different styles. Like if you can see here, you find that all we need to add whenever we're creating a table is a class of table. So, but we need to add stripe if we wish to have it like this nature. That means I can click on it to check it out to see how it looks. If I change the orientation and scroll at the same time, we find that we have a table tag. In this table tag, depending on the type of table you wish to have. So looking at this, you find that we have different styles. Like we have stripe, we have bordered, we have hovered, we have condensed, we have a lot of things. So depending on the one you want to use, you can as well do what? Combine more than one. Like I am having stripe now, you can as well adjust this a little. You can have table with hyphen, bordered. So if I add it and run this now, if you are looking at this section, as you can see here, find that we added a border to it. If you are moving on it, we are not seeing anything like hover. If you also want, so you can combine multiple classes in a table. You can use only one. If I want, I can as well still add my table, and I have my hover in it. If I should run it, I find that I can now hover. It's showing me an effect, which is so lovely as I'm hovering where I am. So that's one good thing about table. You can as well make use of table in our project. If you scroll down, you will see most of these things I've mentioned, like hover. We have this hover. You can change it to dark if you want by adding a class. All you need to do is click on try it yourself. You can simply do what? Check it out. So have a lot of them, even the one without border, we can as well achieve it. All you need to do, click on try it yourself like this. If it opens, we definitely see it in our table. We have what? Table borderless. It's as simple as that. So other things we'll be looking at, we have images. That's why we used images. There are a few things we did not work on, like image thumbnail, image rounded, and image circle. So in order to achieve these things, it's also simple. Assuming I want to change my image to thumbnail or rounded, all I need to do, we have our image cycle, I have rounded. These classes are handy. I can see that I have here rounded cycle. So if I should copy it, go to any of my image, always adjust your image, make sure they have the same width and height. So in this image, if I want to add any of those properties, I can add a class for it. I can now pass the image rounded cycle. So if I should save, go back and refresh, as you can see my image, if I refresh it, you find that it's now rounded cycle. So unfortunately, it's not taking the full width because of what it is. If I want, I can as well make sure that it's equal, give it and take the full width. Very important again is when it comes to aligning our image. We can float our image to the right, we can float our image to the left. We might not have time to practice it, that's why I'm rushing now because we're ending soon. You can as well also center it by adding these two classes to it. You can achieve centered image. We did not see the cost to make use of it in our projects. So, but these two class MX, this MX means margin horizontal, and we're telling that we want it to be upload. We're telling to display block. So that's one thing we are trying to achieve. This place. Next thing we should know is this image field. This helps us to achieve responsive image. This thing is very, very important, even though we are unable to practicalize it. If I should change the orientation, you find that if I should scroll like this, even as I'm adjusting this, you can see that the image is very responsive. So that's one good thing about image. So there are some files I'm working with when I'm working online, or when I was building a social media application. I don't know the size of image people are sending to me, so I need to make sure that the image is responsive so it can fit well to the newsfeed that is coming in. So that was how I developed my social application I built. So please take note of that in order not to make mistake. Try to make your image responsive, except when you are fixing it, you already know the height and width already. So now I can change this back to the normal image you have. I can as well make use of thumbnail. At the same time, if we scroll up, we find that we still have our image, thumbnail, all of them are the same. All it does is to pad it off a little. If we scroll down, we'll have our image, thumbnail. I can copy it and as well add it to my projects where I have my image cycle, and as well repeat it, and as well change it. Go back to my browser and refresh. You find that there is a padding to this image. Unlike these ones, there is no padding. So it's your choice depending on the one you wish to achieve. That's all about image. And close this, might try it yourself. Click here, we check out Jumbotron. So you can have a div. I'll add a class of this Jumbotron. All it will do is it will add it, add this background we are seeing here, and at the same time increase the font size. So it's so lovely, it's handy. You can try it out and see how it works. You can go, continue going. We have our lat. Lat is self-explanatory. I would like you to check it out. Like I have it in my project when I'm logging in. I use it to show users feedback, whether it's successful or not. I can as well show different colors. If it's success, I can show a success message like this. If it's unsuccessful, maybe wrong email or password, I can display something. It's very neat. So it's very handy and it's very smart. Depending on the one you want to use, you can practicalize it. So I'm leaving you to practice most of these things we have here. We have our button, we have button group. I have button group in my project where I use like, vote, online comment. I have a lot of things. That's how I use mine. It's being grouped together. So it's very simple. All we need to have is we need a div, and the div should have a class of button group with a space of button group large if you want the button to be big like this. If you don't want, you can remove this class, the last class you are seeing, button group large there. All you need to add the number of buttons you wish to have. Like here we are just having only 3, like you can see, and when you hover you see a smart effect on it. So you can as well have just a 2 button group, or you can have 3 more than that. At the same time you can have it vertical. So it's very simple. All we need to do is within the class we have our button group vertical. You place the number of buttons you wish to have in it. So it's very handy. You can dive in, practice it. Have our badge. Badge is also another thing you can try out. It helps us to style things. I think I'm using it in one of my projects to show the number of likes I have in my social media. So I can as well place the badge on it. Next thing we'll have, you can click. We found that we have a progress bar. We have spinners. Spinner is on something that comes handy in Bootstrap 4. We can achieve it unlike what we did not add here. Assuming, like we can see here, we have an icon. If we want to add an icon to this, that means we need to start adding a CDN. We have to download from Awesome in order to achieve that. But now we find that day by day, especially when we're working with complex application or a dynamic application that has a login. So these handy things provide a quality user feedback, which matters so much to us, and user experience. That's another lovely things we must consider whenever we're developing an application. When I'm talking of this user experience, when the user comes to your site and maybe you have a login, he enter his email and password and click on login, you should see a kind of loader like this showing that the request is being processed. Not when you click on a button, there is no effect. It doesn't know whether it's working or not. There's a poor user experience. So we should also consider it. And now Bootstrap have made it simple for us. Instead of us to start adding a font Awesome, we start importing it, doing lot of things before we can use this loader. It's handy that you can use a simple class to add it. And now something like me that work with React Native, I can as well toggle it, very handy, remove the class, add the class as I wish. Instead of going to bring in a new icon, start adding the styles on it, bringing in a div, a lot of things, making it complex. So it's very handy. You can as well do what? Try it out. It's as simple as you are seeing it here. So please check it out. So assume we want to add an icon, a awesome icon to this project, like as we have it this place. You can see an icon, an arrow like that. All we need to do, we can easily go and type font awesome. I can use the CDN, font awesome CDN. So depending on which one I want to use, I can use the one from the W3 school. I believe they have awesome also. It's also very handy. When I open it, I'll definitely see the link for it. I can copy it, go back to my project, and scroll to the head section so I can paste it there. I need to make sure that I'm pasting it before JavaScript. So I can drop it here, I will save. If I check it out, find that I have font awesome now available in this project. So to make use of the icon, all I need to do, I can simply search Google for font awesome, go to the official site. In the official site, I can click this link to access the web page. We need to go to the menu where we have icon. As we can see, click on icons. The icon has loaded. I can start looking for the one I want. If I can't see it, all I need to do, I can search for it. You find I'll have up to 7,842 icons. So we have a lot of them. But if I look for it, search, know if I can see the one I'm looking, and I think it's this. All I need to do, copy the name. I go back to my project. As simple as that. So in my project, I can scroll back to where I have the button. In order to apply my font awesome, remember that we have added our CDN already, the font awesome CDN. So to access this icon, I can use an I tag. I open and close. Inside of it, I need to add a class name. So I can add a class with a name of, well, first of all, I need to add this FA, give a space, FA, then type in the name I copied. So with this method, I have added this font awesome icon to this project. If I go back and refresh, you now find that I have this icon available here. So as simple as that, we can add icon to our project, making it beautiful. So if we should scroll down, there are more you can study. I may not go through all these things. We have looked at a lot of things concerning here. I have not looked at modal. Modal is another thing I wish there is time I could have made use of it. Modal is all about pop-up, and it's very handy, very easy to integrate. If you have used bootstrap 3 before, you find that you still have the same thing. All we need to do is open the one we have, because we have different sizes of it. We have modal small, which will come in small size. If I click on it, you find that it's popping up in a little section. You can as well change it. You can switch the orientation. If I switch, if I move, you find that I have my modal, and this place is telling me that I'm having modal small. I can change it to modal large. If I should run this and click, you find that this is a large modal. If I should change the orientation again, it's bigger than what we have before. So that's how modal is. In order to apply this modal, all we need to do is we copy whatever we have here, place it maybe before the end of our body tag. Make sure you copy it well. What we're starting from this modal body, that's where you should copy from. Right. Place it before the end of your body tag. Then you can now copy the button, place it in any position you want to access this modal. It's as simple as that. For example, in my project, let me assume that when I click on to action, I want to pop up this modal. All I need to do is I can easily go copy what I have in this modal, starting from this place, the name of modal. I need to make sure that I know where it's closing. It's very, very important. I can see my modal footer is closing here. So I copy what I have here. Let me check if it's closing well. Can as well open a new text editor, paste it here, save it as an HTML project so you can format it for me. All I need to add is any name of my choice .html. So I'm doing this not to avoid messing up my work. If I click on it, it will format it for me. If I click here, if it shows me that wow, I copied it very well, that means it's closing well. So assuming you omitted any div, you have to go back and make sure that you copy it very, very well. It's very important as that. So if I should copy it now, I can cut it off since I don't need this new.html again. I can go to the end of my work where I have my body, maybe before the closing of my body, I can give space as I wish. I can place it here. I save. Now I wish to use this button. I need to use this button. So I can scroll up where I have the button type, button, the class is button primary. The most important thing is this data toggle, which is modal, and data target, which is this. That means data target means that we are targeting this same name we are seeing here, this ID. That's the major thing you should know. We are targeting it in order to pop up this modal. And copy these two attributes we have here. I now go back to my work where I have my button. I can scroll and look for my button where I have my call to action. So once I see the call to action, all I need to do after the class, I can give space, paste this attribute I copied. I can now go back and refresh my work. So I can refresh this. I click on call to action. You find that I have this modal up. I can as well close this modal. If I click again, it's available. I can close it with this. If I wish to add content to them, it's as simple as our HTML. We have our header, we have our contents, which is the body, we have our footer. It's the same thing with what we have in the card. So all we need, you can add something in our content, you can add image or add a title to the header, you can add a button, add any element we wish, you can add even anything you can think of to the footer. It can be a simple text. So the same thing is applicable here. You can add, you can see a simple text already. So if you don't like this, you can modify the text. You can go here, add as much content as you want here. You can bring in image here. Kids place, we are having a button. We are floating the button to the right. We are pulling it to the right. That's as simple as it is. So modal is something that is handy. You can use to pop up information in your web page. So if we look at this so far, I think I'm so happy with this because I have my carousel and the sliding as well. And if I should scroll down, I have a lovely web page. Design is nice, but one thing is being omitted. We have not checked how this page is looking in our mobile view, which is very important. So to do that in any part of my web page, I can simply right click on inspect element. So this will give me room to adjust this page. Find that as I'm adjusting it, this is how it's looking, this is how it's going to look in our mobile device. If I don't want it to show the page like this, I can as well readjust it back, and I will click on this toggle icon showing this phone icon. It will show me how the mobile view will look like, and this is a mess. So we need to fix it. It will not take time. Also, we're supposed to have an icon here showing a menu icon. We can click, but it's not visible. So first of all, let's fix this menu icon. All we need to do now, we go back to our text editor where we have our navbar. We need to add a class also. Whenever we have BG, I will mention any of our contemporary color, we need to also add this as a navbar. So now I'm having BG light. That means I need to have a navbar -light. So I'm having BG dark, you need to have a navbar dark. BG info, you need to have a navbar info. So that's how it works. If you want it to work well, I can save now, go back, refresh this page. You find that my icon is back. I can toggle it very well, and I'm achieving all these effects with the help of JavaScript. If I remove JavaScript, you find that we can't toggle this. Likewise, we cannot move this slide. Let me take back to the normal view. Assuming we are taking off the JavaScript, so we see effects. This is the JavaScript. I take it off. Everything I have in the JavaScript is off now. I save back this work. If we should go back and refresh, find that we cannot toggle this again. This is can move. If I go back to the normal view I have before, either by adjusting this, find that if I'm clicking here, it's not showing any toggle. No menu, you can't see our menu. So all we need to make it work again is to return back our JavaScript. Can now save. So everything can work fine. If I should adjust my screen, refresh this page again and click here, find that it's toggling well. So next thing we need to fix is this design I'm seeing here. I'm not happy with it. So far our code is targeting the mobile device and can scale up to the large device if you fail to specify the large device. And that's what is happening here, since we are not specifying any size for the medium and large device. So to solve this, we need to specify a unique style in our small devices, which is the O. And this time around, we can start from the medium device up to specify another style. So in order to achieve this, I will simply scroll down anywhere I have my code. That's what I need to fix. So first of all, I can see my code 8. If we should check it out, maybe I will split my screen to make it visible very well. So I have this one by the side and select this. So this is what we are having. And now I can see, if I should scroll, I can adjust this as well to appear little. I'm seeing my text editor better, and I'm as well seeing this also. All I need to do is I will change this to 12. Then that in code, which is the smallest device, I want it to appear full width. But when it comes to medium device up, I want it to take mid 8. So this is targeting medium device up. At the same time, I need to go down to where I have my code 4. And I'll tell him that this code 4, I don't want it to break like this. I want it to take full width. But when it comes to medium device also, which is code mid 4. So in my medium device, I want it to take code mid 4. I can now save. If I refresh this page, you find that we are now having this, what we do, and below it, we are having our contact us. Assuming we want, we can add a little padding to it or margin to this content. It's our choice. But for now, I can leave it like this. This content is looking better now. And if I should zoom it out, you find that I'm still having the same thing. When it comes to medium and large device, it will look like this. But once you readjust it to a smaller device, to send it to the next line. So likewise, this same thing, what the cards we are having here, don't want to have them like this. So in order to solve it, we need to look for where we have the cards. I can see the code 4. I can see another code 4 here. I can see my row. So all I need to do is readjust them. In my small device, which is phone, I want it to appear 12. But in medium device and above, I want it to have mid 4. So that means a medium device and above, it should now take the 4. But in small device, it should be 12. So all I need, I can apply this same class in other ones. That's the only thing we need to do. And I can save. If I should refresh now, you find that we are having something lovely. So we now have our card title. We scroll, we have our another one. We scroll, we have the rest in different lines. Now, if I want, I can add some margin at the end of each card so you can space it out from the next card. So to achieve that, I can start from my code 4 and add my margin bottom, which is MB. And this time around, I can make it MB4. I can copy the same and add it to the rest of the card where I have my code. That's where I'm adding it to. I go down, look for where I have the last code. I can as well add it there. I save. So if I now refresh, you find that I now have this card and there is a margin here. If I have the next card and there is a margin, if I have the last card. If I should open it up, you find that we are still having a lovely work. So it's now looking nice in all devices, no matter how you are scaling it. So even if we adjust this, we find that it will still look okay in different devices as we adjust. So I think I'm okay. I'm working on a medium device. So even on large device, if you're using a large laptop and the rest of them, you will definitely get a very lovely design. Thanks for our page is done. We are done with this project and everything is working so perfectly. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the time and effort, and I'm so glad you made it to this end. I love you.